I'll never forget that evening. The night my wife's law firm held its annual party. The kind that dripped with wealth and quiet arrogance. She'd always loved those events. They made her feel powerful, respected. I went every year, partly to support her and partly because, beneath the glittering smiles and champagne glasses, I liked watching how people behaved when they thought status mattered more than character. But that year was different. Things between us had been cold for months. Distant conversations, polite goodnights, and a kind of silence that says more than words ever could. Still, when she invited me, I thought maybe it was an olive branch. Maybe she wanted to fix things. I wore my best suit, polished my shoes, and even brought her favorite flowers. When I arrived, the lobby of the hotel glowed with golden lights and laughter. Waiters glided through the crowd carrying trays of appetizers. I scanned the room for her. She stood near the stage, radiant in a red dress, surrounded by her colleagues. She didn't see me right away, so I found my seat. That's when I noticed it. A white place card sitting neatly at my table. My name wasn't on it. Instead, in bold, elegant print, it said, "Divorce Fool." I froze, staring at it. For a second, I thought it was a cruel joke, a prank by one of her co-workers. Then I noticed something else. The faint smile on her face as she glanced in my direction, pretending not to look. My chest tightened. It wasn't a mistake. She'd done this on purpose. I didn't know whether to walk out or laugh. The room spun a little, not from anger, but from disbelief. I sat down slowly, placed the card upright, and smiled to myself. Around me, a few people noticed and whispered. One man gave me a sympathetic nod. Another smirked. My wife, Laura, finally approached, feigning surprise. "Oh my God, what's that?" she asked, her voice dripping with false innocence. Someone must have thought they were being funny. I met her gaze. "Yeah," I said quietly, someone with a twisted sense of humor. She hesitated for a moment, then turned to mingle again as if nothing happened. I stayed calm. I wasn't going to give her or anyone else the satisfaction of seeing me lose my composure. But inside, something shifted. The kind of hurt that doesn't make you lash out. It makes you think. It makes you plan. The night went on. People laughed, clinked glasses, and congratulated each other on another year's success. I waited until Laura got called up to the stage to give her speech. As she thanked her firm, praised teamwork, and bragged about her upcoming promotion, I quietly stood up and walked to the front desk. Earlier that week, I'd helped one of her senior partners close a personal investment deal, a favor I did as a financial consultant. I'd been polite, discreet, and efficient, and as a result, that same partner now owed me one. I found him near the bar and leaned in. "Richard," I said casually, "could I have 2 minutes?" He smiled warmly. "Of course, Ben. Everything all right?" "Perfect," I said, handing him a small envelope. "You might want to open that before the speech ends." He did, and his expression changed instantly. It was documentation of Laura's misconduct. The same file she'd accidentally forwarded to me weeks ago, involving her misuse of client funds to cover a private loan. I'd warned her about it, told her to fix it, but she'd laughed it off, calling me paranoid. Richard's jaw tightened. He didn't say a word, just nodded slowly and walked toward the stage. I returned to my table, picked up the Divorce Fool card, and set it neatly in my pocket. Moments later, Richard whispered something to the event host, who hesitated, then returned to the microphone. "Thank you, Laura," he said. "We'll take a brief pause before the next announcement." She looked confused as he gestured for her to step aside. Within seconds, a quiet ripple spread through the crowd, murmurs, curious glances, and shifting expressions. Laura's boss leaned in and whispered something to her. Her smile faltered. I watched as her confidence cracked like thin glass. She looked around the room, then directly at me. I raised my glass in a slow, silent toast. She knew. She absolutely knew. 10 minutes later, she walked past me, pale and trembling, avoiding my eyes. I didn't say a word. When the night ended, I left the party without fanfare, stepping into the cool night air. The stars above looked brighter than they had in months. As I reached my car, I pulled out the place card, stared at the words again, and chuckled. Divorce fool, it said, but not for long. 2 weeks later, Laura was suspended pending investigation. Her firm quietly removed her name from the website, and her promotion vanished like smoke. When the divorce papers arrived, I signed them without hesitation. I enclosed the same card in the envelope with my signature, along with a note that read, "You were right. I am divorced, but you were wrong about the fool."